Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Today we are going to study chapter number 6, 7 and 8 of the novel The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. But at first we are moving back to the review of first 5 chapters. Yes, dear viewers, the novel centers on Mary Lennox, who is living in India with her wealthy British family. She is a selfish and disagreeable 10 years old girl who has been spoiled by her servants and neglected by her unloving parents. When a disease broke out there, a disease cholera epidemic kills her parents and the servants, Mary is orphaned. She is sent to live with a widowed uncle, Archibald Craven, at his huge Yorkshire estate, Misselthwaite Manor. Her uncle is rarely at Misselthwaite Manor. However, Mary is brought to the estate by the head housekeeper, Mrs. Medlock, who shuts her into a room and tells her not to explore the house. Martha, who is a servant there, she is very friendly with Mary. She helps the child to cope up with the situation. Now Mary knows about her uncle's wife who had died there in the secret garden, and there is a servant whose name is Ben Weatherstaff, who had been living in that house for 10 years since the death of his aunt, or the wife of Mr. Archibald Craven. Mary finds a bird who was singing in the garden. Its name was Robin, and with the help of Robin, she got the key of the secret garden. While working in the secret garden, Mary is changed. Not fully, but to a greater extent. She is not now as a pale-faced and a rude child, but now she is getting more healthy with the passage of time, as she has been engaging herself in the task or the gardening in the secret garden with the help of Dickon, who was the brother of Martha, and now he has become the friend of Mary. Dickon Sowerby, a cheerful Yorkshire boy who brings joy and happiness to the lives of others. He makes friendship with everyone he meets, even animals there. When Mr. Archibald Craven meets Mary, he wanted to hire a teacher for Mary, but Mary preferred that she would prefer to work in the garden. Then her uncle agrees with it and added that you can do whatever you want, and I'll arrange the teacher for you later on. Mary hates rain because it restricts her to the house, and refrains her from meeting Dickon in the garden, who befriends with her. Mary hears very strange sound from the corridor. It was not of the wind, not of the rain, but of a child who was sickly and who used to remain in his room. He was actually Colin Craven, Mary's cousin, Mr. Archibald Craven's son. Colin Craven remains ill and he stays in the bed for a lot of time. He doesn't go outside. He is being dictated that he is ill and he will die someday. But when he grows his friendship with Mary, he is on the way to become healthy. Now, till chapter 5, we have found that Mary befriends with Colin Craven as well, and they share their feelings, they care about one another, and everyone is surprised to see the strange recovery of Colin Craven's health. At the start of chapter number 6, we learn that Mary can't go in the garden, and she spends every day in Colin's room and has very friendly terms with him. On the other side, Colin is getting very healthy. He is not crying so much and he is feeling better. Mary was careful not to tell Colin about the garden, about the secrecy of the garden, but still she is in a dilemma that should she share this secret with him or not, because can he keep his secret or not? As he is not Deccan, he is Colin Craven who can tell about the secret to anyone. Mrs. Medlock, who is the head servant, she tells once in one way to Mary that she had broken the rules, but Master Colin likes her. On one sunny day, Mary woke up early. She puts on her clothes quickly and runs towards secret garden, as her friend Dickon was already there with his new friends, the little fox and a blackbird. Mary exchanges greeting with Dickon, and she expresses her happiness that she has met Dickon there, as he was there in the garden. As usual, Dickon smiles and he introduces the animals to her, that this little fox is Captain. Its name is Captain, and the blackbird's name is Suit. Now, Mary informs Dickon about the good news that she was having. It was that she had found her cousin Colin, and she inquires about him, that did he knew about him. Then he said that yes, sorry, but I knew about him, but Martha and I couldn't tell you. Then he inquires that is he ill. Now they share the poor condition of Colin Craven, who always remains in the bed, and they hope that they could bring him to here there to the garden. They like them that they should help that child, that poor child, and to visit him in the secret garden. The two children does a lot of work in the garden, and Mary couldn't go to the Colin's room, and not going to the Colin room created a lot of problem for her, as Colin became angry with her. When Colin Craven authoritatively snubs her and talks with her in angry way, then Mary also gets angry and she leaves his room and goes towards her own room. Now Mary shouts at her that she wouldn't tell him about the garden or Dickon or any idea about that. Now on that night, Colin crying and screaming woke everyone, and the nurse came running to Mary and requested her to move towards Colin Craven because he was too angry. And she ran quickly into his room and shouted at him that he should stop, as he will all leave the house, and and he will be alone at all. Then Colin Craven cried and he said that I can't stop, I'm ill, I'll die. But she consoled, and then she shouted as well on him that he is not true. He will live and grow up. Then he was simply shocked that mm, if you go outside and if you take me outside, and will I be strong? Then Colin took her hand and said that he should also go with him, and that created an optimism and a hope in Colin's mind, and he became healthy. At that, Mrs. Medlock, Martha, and nurse stood there with open mouth, because Colin was on the way to better health. Till the end of chapter number 6, we have known that the boy who was ill, who was sickly, and used to remain in the bed, is now on the way to share and care about others. And he has started to decrease his anger. He is becoming friendly with others, especially with the girl Mary, who shares and cares about him. And his health is also getting better. On the other hand, their secret garden is just going to be revealed, as Dickon is there, and Mary also shares her secret with Dickon. Due to Colin screaming at night, Mary couldn't sleep well in the night. So she got up late the next day. And as it was a very long night for her, and when she got up, Martha said to her that Master Colin wants to meet her and he is requesting for her. No doubt, Mary wanted to see Dickon in the garden at first, but she decided to go to Colin's room. And at that, Colin exchanged his greeting, his thank you, as he said that he was tired. And is she? And he inquired about his plan of the day. That is she going to the garden today? When Mary discusses with him that she is planning to go outside in the garden, then he requests her to come back quickly. Mary runs to the garden, and Dickon was there with his three more friends, Jump the pony, and two squirrels whose names were Nut and Shell. Mary tells all about Colin to Dickon, who was sorry for the poor boy, and she shares and wants him to visit him as he's alone and gets frightened and has bad thoughts, so he may have hope for the life when when Dickon would visit him. Now Mary goes back to Colin's room and she sits on his bed. She shares with him about Dickens a lot of animals, and she says that he will visit him today with his little zoo, including the fox, the blackbird, two squirrels, and pony. Now, Colin also expresses his joy that he would like to meet Dickon, but she says that tomorrow, that means on the other day, he will visit him with his friends, and on that he get astonished and surprised, and expresses his pleasure at the news of visiting him the other day. Now, Dr. Craven, who is the uncle of Colin Craven, he enters the room with Mrs. Medlock. They exchange their views that the boy has changed. He is much better. They also share about Susan Sorabi, who is mother of Martha Sorabi and Dickon Sorabi. Susan Sorabi, who has 12 children, she knows a lot about the children. She no doubt she said truly she said that children need children, and as she had a lot of knowledge about children's psychology. Now we have known that the world of these children have totally changed. A sickly child has started to share and care about others. He doesn't bother to tease others only by shouting and crying all day and night. But and the Mary, who was pale faced, and she was also sickly at the start of the novel. She has also grown healthy, and she has now a positive side of the life after meeting with Dickon. The next morning, Mary, as usual, runs to Colin's room and opens the window. He informs him that Dickon is here. He laughed that he has brought all the friends and a baby lamb too. Colin Craven becomes so much happy after meeting Dickon in his room with his little zoo, and expresses his joy and the feeling of gratitude as well with other children. Dickon puts the baby lamb onto his lap, and he found on the moor who lost his mother, and then Dickon inquires him that do you want to see it. Then at that few minutes later, Dickon came there with a big smile, and he looked at them with his big eyes, but he couldn't speak. Then Dickon went near him and put the little lamb in Colin's arms, and the three children began to laugh, and Colin was delighted. He was jubilant. Till chapter 7, we have read that there is harmony, cooperation, love, affection, caring, and sharing between the three children. At the start of chapter number 8, a new spark, a new energy is visible among these three children. Dickon comes to the house every day and they make plan and act upon those. One sunny afternoon, they were ready to take Colin outside. And then Colin dictates the servants that he is going outside with Dickon and Mary, but no one is allowed to uh, come after them or listen to their conversation. As he was the master and the son of landlord, so the servants had to agree him, so they agreed. By Dickens' commandments and his orders, his physical and mental health, strong mental health has also been visible. Till noon time, three of the children come downstairs and they put Colin into his wheelchair, and Dickon pushed his chair and Mary walks alongside. They come towards the garden. Dickon inquires about the door of the secret garden. On his question, Mary answers that it is behind the branches, and so he has to close his eyes because she wants to give him the surprise over there. Now, Dickon is observing the secret garden himself, about which he was dreaming last night in the last chapter as well. Now, he is physically, emotionally, and psychologically observing that secret garden, which has the magical effect for him. Dickon observes each and everything that he watches around him in his surrounding, and puts question about everything, of which Mary and Dickon gives him the satisfactory answers. At once, Colin asks a question about a broken branch, that a big branch has broken off that tree. Then Dickon answers that, well, it's very old. Dickon and Mary wanted to neglect that question, but still they can't do it directly. So they neglected his question by paying his attention towards the other side. In order to divert Colin Craven's attention from the broken branch, Mary shouts suddenly, "There's my friend, the robin, the robin." Then Dickon Sowerby accompanies him, that where it is. "Oh, I want to stay here all day," it was the reply of Colin. And in this way they diverted his attention, and at that he was successfully being diverted from there, and he says to them that they must have a picnic there and they can take the food from the house, and Dickon goes over there back to the house to take the picnic basket. Dickon went back for the picnic basket, and then when he came back, the children sat on the grass and they ate from that basket. They were laughing, they were making merry, they were having fun, and suddenly Colin pointed towards the wall. "Who's that man?" At Colin's question, Mary and Dickon turned back quickly, and they saw that Ben Weatherstaff was standing on the top of the ladder with an angry face. And he was showing his anger towards Mary, and he was calling her bad little girl. "How did you get in there?" At which Mary was frightened. The robin showed me the way. She was just like neglecting, and she was hesitating to answer him. Colin became angry and he questioned the old man that, "Do you know me?" Then Ben looked at the boy in the wheelchair and he asked that, "You are the sick child, aren't you?" Then Colin replied that, "I'm not sick." He was angry. Colin was too much angered, and he looks at him and he said that, "Look at me. I'm not sick. I can stand up from the wheelchair." At Colin's reply, Ben Weatherstaff recognized him and started to say, "Oh, my boy," as he recognized him as he was the son of his landlord. And then at which Colin said him that, "Listen to me, I'm your master. This is my garden and we'll come here every day." You must keep our secret. You must not tell anyone. Now climb down that ladder and come here. Colin turned towards Dickon and asked for help to walk to that tree, and he stood up. He tried to stand up over there. When Ben Weatherstaff came through the door, Colin told him that, "Look at me, you can see, I can walk. Why were you there on the ladder?" At which Ben Weatherstaff explained him that I worked in this garden. As he used to work for his mother, the lady, loved it. That garden, and she loved it too, and Ben Weatherstaff also loved it. And when the lady had died, he decided to look after her garden. Every spring, he climbed over the wall, and without informing anyone, he used to do the work over there. And he explained all these things to Colin's Dickon. When Ben Weatherstaff explained all the things, then Colin tried to trust on him. He said that now we can trust that you can keep our secret, Ben Weatherstaff. That's good, and you must not tell anyone about it. At which Ben Weatherstaff agreed that, yes, sir, this is your garden now. Would you like to plant a flower? This idea of planting a flower seemed very good and attractive to Colin, so he said smilingly, "Oh, yes." He sat on the ground and made a hole with Dickon's help. Ben brought a rose and Colin planted his first flower. Now there is a very refreshing environment between these all members. The secret of the garden, which was between Mary and Dickon Sowerby, now it was being shared with Colin Craven, and now Ben Weatherstaff is also the member of that team as well. Okay, dear students and my dear fellows, I hope so you would have enjoyed the story, the review of the previous 5 chapters, the deeper study of chapter number 6, 7, and 8. And soon I'll try my best to upload the solved exercises of these 3 chapters. Hope so, inshallah. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Allah Hafiz.